Welcome to AI Arch Result. In this episode, I would like to talk again about Fable, because you can see that Fable 5 is back. So if you are a paid customer of Claude from Anthropic, and you opened recently Claude AI, you'll notice this pop-up here. This pop-up says, Fable 5 is back. Our newest model tackles your biggest challenges, with fewer checkings needed. And until July 7th, you can use up to 50% of your plan's weekly usage limit on Fable 5. And if you hit your limit, you can continue on Fable 5 with usage credits, so paying additional money. Fable 5 draws down usage faster than Opus 4.8. So basically, here is the press release that Anthropic, makers of Claude and models like Opus, Sonnet, and so on, have published on June the 3rd, June 30th. So the last day of June. And as you can see here, they say that on June 12th, government of USA told them to stop offering Claude Fable 5 and Claude Mythos 5. And the Fable 5 is the Mythos-class large language model, but with more guardrails. Previously in video, I was talking about aliens with Fable 5, and you can see it in my previous videos. So these controls have been lifted, and now Fable 5 is available for everybody. This is the Mythos-class large language model with guardrails, and Mythos 5 itself, doesn't have many guardrails, security and biology, and now it is available. So basically, if you go to your ChatGPT, to your Claude AI chatbot, you can pick models, and you can pick Sonnet, you can pick which is the middle range, the Haiku, which is the most stupid one and cheapest, and you can pick yourself up or the 8, the Opus. But also you can pick Fable, and Fable is here, and it says it's included until July 7th. So your time is limited, because after that time you will have to pay. You have to pay additional money with usage credits, meaning that you pay for subscription, and on top of subscription, you will have to pay also for the usage. This is a problem because many people who are using Agentic AI spends a lot of money, like several $100s in a day. And if you have subscription, you have flat rate, and if you exceed your usage limit for 5 hours or for a week, then you have to wait 5 hours or a week to recharge. But you don't worry about usage credits or about API keys or whatever. And here, after July 7th, you will have to worry, because, of course, it is the most intelligent model. So let's take a look. Here is my conversation that I had with Gerg about this Claude Fable 5. What the Claude Fable 5 is good for. Here are the features. Superior blank horizon reasoning and autonomy. It can work for days with no or with minimal oversight, and then it can do stuff for you. Then, enhanced agentic capabilities. So if you put it to use in agent harnesses like Claude Code and also OpenClaw. So you can put it Fable as a large language model that is powering your agents. And agents are basically using large language models to call tools and to plan. And you can see that for agentic capabilities, this model supports self-improving systems, weak loops, dynamic workflows, and dreaming, so learning during the idle time. And also continuous iteration, of course. So usage of some models in agentic use cases like OpenClaw, like Claude Code, I have to tell you, not all of them are good for agentic use. And for example, I was using Chinese models, and some of them are good for agentic use, some not. And this model is also good for agentic. Then there is a stronger vision in Fable 5 as multi-modal understanding. Multi-modal means not only text, but also pictures, videos. And it says better at diagrams, charts, tables in PDFs and files, and also is better at using vision to evaluate its own coding and user interface outputs against designs and goals. So if you are developing applications like web applications or standalone applications, it can look at user interface and it can better code to adapt the output of your code generation to the goals and designs that you provided to him. And then improve coding and engineering, of course. There are aircraft batch bugs for coding, and it can do one-shots, complex apps and migration. So you just, with one prompt, you can create very complex software. It can handle large code bases. Some code bases are millions of source code. And also, is better. It is catching the misses that previous models were missing. And stock innovation. The advanced knowledge at work and enterprise features, like doing deep research analysis, multi-stage workflows, the strong in finance, science, analytics. It is proactive with high judgment and nuance. As you can see my conversation with Fable about aliens in my previous video, that this all is true, that the research is very deep and very sophisticated and multi-stage. The next one is pooling and deployment support. It has memory tool, code execution, programmatic tool coding, task budgets, context deleting, and so on. And also has safety classifiers. And the other stuff, like, it has higher consistency, fewer retries. And it has been relaunched just end of June or beginning of July 2026. That safeguards are now updated so that this export control problem is resolved. And here are some use cases. The curve, particularly division, is stronger, deeper reasoning, and long context handling of ambitious projects. And scaling and performance is much better for one-shot full applications and senior level reasoning. And I have to tell you that I was satisfied with Codex and Pro model of ChatGPT guiding reasoning, but Fable is even better. And then it is good at building managed agents with Fable 5. You can build managed agents. So you create agents that are self-improving, very long running, that plan, that are looping, so you don't have to tell them all the time that they are working on them by themselves. And some examples of some use cases here: large code migrations, refactors, for example, to migrate code from one programming language to another, like from COBOL to, I don't know, Python, building games, applications, software as a service. If you can create the whole software as a service software for you, just if you put a screenshot of existing software as a service. So don't buy software as a service, just make it yourself. And then a complex engineering, including shaders, UI frameworks, and also the code that is running on Meta. Then finance, legal, and analytics. Video content creation. It can help you create videos, including motion graphics and film making apps. And also for self-improving systems. PR reviews, for pull request reviews, and project planning. And to deploy, there are some hints. So generally speaking, the common use cases are ambitious coding, like migrations, full apps, game development. So if you had some ideas and were not satisfied with your agentic coding, don't use the term web coding is Slayer. Use the term agentic coding, so ambitious coding, like migrations, full apps. Enterprise workflows. So with little supervision, and can create sophisticated enterprise workflows. Agentic automation. So now agents can run for days long, for several days, autonomously, and do stuff for you. You don't have to prompt them. You can just tell them to run in the loop and specify goals. And it's good for vision hybrid tasks like looking at tables and charts and validating user interface in applications that you are creating. And also creative prototyping, like videos, interactive builds, and generation of story for your content. So Fable 5 is included for up to 50% of your weekly usage limit. Until July 7th, after that, it will be available via usage credits, so you have to pay additionally. And you can see I have asked Claude Fable 5, what LLM model are you? And he said, I am Claude Fable 5, made by Anthropic. It is the first model in the Claude 5 family and part of the new Mythos-class tier, which sits above the Opus models. So at the bottom is, as you can see here, guiding models Haiku, the listed versions, then Sonnet, which is a medium intelligence, and this is good for like easy tasks. Opus, which previously was for the hybrid task, and now at the top we have Fable 5. And one thing worth knowing, Claude models like Sonnet or Opus well categorize this name, that of Fable, since it postdates they are training. So if you ever ask a different model about Fable 5, we may tell you it doesn't exist. If you want details, okay. So there is an announcement here. That announcement I showed you here. This is out of stuff here. So I presented to you Fable 5, which is now back. I think it is now back for good. If you have some challenging or difficult tasks to do in agentic coding or in your life or in your day job or your hobbies or whatever, previously people were hurrying up to, I have to do table stuff quickly because it will the promotional will end. And now it's the similar situation, but now probably after promotional end, we were able to pay additional money, which we probably worth paying, and you will then be able to use Fable for a long period of time. So thank you for watching. Please subscribe and like if you haven't yet. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments and I will answer them.